Alright, people, so I'm here with your Raw review for a week ago. So before I get into this review here, I got to, in my last Raw review, I forgot to cover the amount of match time. So we had, just real quickly, 46 minutes and 50 seconds of total match time. That will equate to 5.9 minutes per match. You had 5 matches that were 0 to 5 minutes. So once again, the majority of the matches are under 5 minutes. You had 2 matches that were 5 to 10, 0 that were 10 to 15, and 1 that was over 15 minutes. So just wanted to point that out because I forgot to in my last Raw video. But like I said, every week it's a consistent trend of, mostly short and shitty matches. All right, so let's get into this week's Raw review. We get the show started off with Reigns, Owens, and Jericho cutting a promo. I mean, it was a mediocre little promo here, pretty basic, and of course Roman Reigns is involved in it, which always brings down the quality of a segment. You had an argument between Jericho and Owens here, which it just seems like every fucking week these two are arguing. They call themselves best friends, and I like them being together, but I don't know why. It's like every fucking week they have something to argue about and get mad about. It's like, I get that eventually a group has to break up, but I mean, shouldn't they at least get along a little bit? So eventually this leads to Jericho getting pissed off because Owens told him to Owens said to shut up to him. And then this leads to a match between Roman Reigns and Owens. They, of course, they have to put Roman Reigns in the big fucking match there. And as we learn, he will become, spoiler alert, he will become #1 contender. Of course, the fucking guy never goes away. He's like a fucking cockroach that never fucking goes away. And he sucks. He fucking sucks, but some way he weasels his match. He weasels his way into this fucking title match at Roadblock. So then, your first match of the night, a very impressive match here. You had Braun Strowman defeating R-Truth in 40 seconds. So, they put Braun Strowman in the Survivor Series matchup. You think he's good, they got something better planned for him than just continue his job, 1 minute matches on Raw every week. But no, then he goes right back into these fucking, 30-second matches every fucking week. I mean, what the fuck? I don't want to fucking see this. Okay, we get it. He could fucking destroy jobbers. If you're going to do something with him, do it already. I mean, it's been months. So then, Zayn comes out and he gets his ass kicked. And, Zayn and Foley then have a little bit of a promo there, which I thought was good. I mean, they did a good job at making it seem like genuine anger between the two. And it was a little good heated promo there between the two. But for the match sucked, and the match rating gets 0 out of 5 stars. Then we have Nice defeating Alexander, and I gotta say, every fucking week, every fucking match this guy, I believe it's Alexander, wrestles, and in the cruiserweight, they make the point, he's lost 20 pounds to good, he's lost 22 pounds. I don't give a shit. I know that already. You've told me a million fucking times. Stop telling me that. I mean, that just pisses me off. And Michael Cole thinks he's so cool because, or whoever, maybe somebody's telling him in his ear to say that. They think they're so cool that they inform us every time this guy's wrestling that he's lost 22 pounds. That's great. That's fucking great. I don't give a shit. Doesn't impress me anymore. The match, again, 3 minutes and 25 seconds long. Well, now the cruiserweight matches are getting even shorter now. I mean, at least they used to be like 5 minutes. Now they're down to like 3.5. Mediocre match here. Gave it 1.75 out of 5 stars. And I keep making this point that if you're going to give the cruiserweights 3.5, 4, 5 minutes to wrestle, it's not going to be a successful division. And if you're going to give them no promo time, no time to build up their feud, it's not going to be a successful division. And it's not a successful division. Then we have Jericho and Rollins in a parking lot brawl here. I mean, it was a decent little brawl here, but I mean, it could have been better. I mean, there was no windows or glass broken. There was a pedigree on top of a car, which was somewhat botched. It didn't look too good. So, I mean, it was decent. It was nice to see something like this, which we haven't seen in quite a while. But, I mean, it wasn't really that many. There wasn't really a really cool moment or anything like that during this. Then we have Charlotte and Sasha ending in a disqualification. Uh, just a waste of time. I mean, what the fuck? This is what I'm talking about. How they just waste time in these 3 hour shows. You might as well have just not have had this at all, and said, we're just going to have them at the main event, and you could have took the 10 minutes you wasted during this thing and given the cruiserweights an extra 10 minutes to wrestle, or given another match an extra 10 minutes, instead of having these 3, 4, 5 minute matches every week on Raw. This is the shit I'm talking about, how they waste time every week. This was just pointless. So this leads to the main event later, and they make it a false count, no DQ, match. You could have just made it in the first place and not had this shitty 3-minute match. So this was a 0 out of 5 waste of time. Then we have Rusev and Enzo Amore ending the disqualification. The shit continues. 30 seconds. This match was 30 fucking seconds. Same thing as last. I believe that they did the same fucking match as last week. Oh, except it was like 55 seconds last week, and Rusev still won. I mean, really? So 0 out of 5 stars again. And then they do see the retardation continues now. They're like, oh, Mark Henry was in a movie. First off, Mark Henry hasn't been on WWE television in like a year. And they're bragging about him being in a movie. So I'm like, okay, he's in a movie. Okay, let's see what this is about. So he's like a fucking bouncer at a bar. And he's in the movie for like 10 seconds. And he's not even beating. You'd think he would be beating somebody up because he's like a wrestler, the world's strongest man. But no, he's getting his ass kicked. And they're like, oh, look at Mark Henry in the movie. Look at him getting his ass kicked for 10 seconds as a nobody in a movie. I mean, there's nothing to brag about that. It was fucking embarrassing. What do you get paid fucking, $20 for that movie? I mean, come on. Then we have another cruiserweight match, and this one, good news, guys. It was longer than the first one. By only 5 seconds, though, so... Yeah, 3.5 minutes. Another short match. I didn't bother writing down the participants in this match because, like I said, I don't have it memorized, and I don't have the energy to go back and look at who the fuck was in the match. But all I know is it was short and it sucked. I forgot to write down a rating too. So sorry, guys. That's how disinterested I am in this show. It seems like I keep forgetting to write down ratings for some of these matches, but I apologize. Then we have Reigns defeating Owens again. Again, there's your golden boy of WWE. Roman Reigns has to beat Kevin Owens, their champion. I mean, I'm just so fucking sick of this shit. So sick of Roman. Just when you thought that he was out of the main event, it looked like they were going in the direction of taking him out of the main event. Like 3 months ago, looks like they finally said, okay, we're going to put him in the U.S. title feud with Rusev, and it would be because we hear all the boos. So okay, we're not going to push him in the main event. But then you see, come December, he's back in the main event, and he's beating Kevin Owens. It's like, here we go again. I mean, do they get the fucking message? Do they get the message that nobody likes this guy? That everybody realizes that he has no talent in the ring, on the mic, anywhere. I mean, he's terrible. I don't get, how do they not get this message yet? That we don't like, that nobody likes him. He gets booed every week, yet they push him. I mean, it just blows my mind. And they wonder why their ratings are going down. Yeah, on their conference call, yeah, why do you think the ratings are going down, huh? Yeah. Maybe it's because we're pushing guys that nobody likes. I mean, is that ever talked on the fucking conference calls? I mean, I'm no expert here on finances or ratings or running a company, but I know that most companies that are successful, if not all companies are successful, do things that their customers want. And obviously the customers of WWE do not want Roman Reigns, but yet they keep giving us to us like we want him. We don't want him. So the match sucked. There was like a fucking 5-minute rest hold in this fuck. I mean, holy shit. I mean, are they trying to put us to sleep? I mean, are they trying to bore us? The rest hold was like fucking 5 minutes. That's not even maybe a slight exaggeration, but it was a long ass rest hold. It was it was between 3 and 5 minutes. I mean, holy shit! I was sitting there like, really? I mean, there's nothing exciting about a fucking 4 minute rest hold. So the match was 11 minutes and 35 seconds long. I gave it a half star out of 5, if it even deserves that. And like I said, Reigns wins. Boring match. So, not good. Then we have a Heyman and Michael Cole interview, and it was an okay little pro. I don't even know if it was okay, because you got Heyman. The thing that bothered me is this just solidified the fall of Brock Lesnar, because you had Heyman there. He didn't shave, while that was kind of funny, it's like, and he's crying, which is awesome. You kind of laugh at that. Oh, he's crying, But then you sit back and you kind of think about it, and it's like, well, they're fucking destroying Brock Lesnar even more now, because Heyman's in fucking tears. He's fucking legit, actually crying. He's obviously in distress, and Brock Lesnar's nowhere to be found. So I mean, this just really solidifies the destruction of the beast incarnate, the beast persona of Brock Lesnar. So it's kind of fucking sad, to just see this solidify and come together. The way that they made Brock Lesnar lose at Survivor Series, like I was saying before, like I've said on this channel before, has just fucking ruined him. It has taken years upon years of building Brock Lesnar up into the beast persona that he has been, and it has pretty much just completely destroyed him. And it's going to be very hard to get back to that position. It's going to take a long ass time after that embarrassment of a match at Survivor Series, after that lazy booking of a match, after that terrible book, not even lazy booking, it was terrible booking of a match there at Survivor Series. Then we have the New Day defeating Carl Anderson and Gallows in a tag team match. Again, more stupidity here with the match times. You have your tag team title match, that's 5 minutes and 40 seconds long. I mean, you think, again, they wasted fucking 3 minutes. They wasted, like, if you count entrances and everything, during the Charlotte and Sasha Banks match. They probably wasted about 10 minutes there. So you fucking cut out that pointless ass garbage. And you say, okay, Gallows, and we're going to give you 10 extra minutes to make this a 15-minute match instead of a 5 minute and 40-second match. Or we add that fucking 10 minutes on to a cruiserweight match, or we cut out the fucking Rusev and Enzo Amore match. You get what I'm going, you're picking up what I'm laying down, whatever the fuck that saying is. But no, I mean, this is dumb to have a tag team title match that's only 5 minutes and 40 seconds long. Just a boring, typical tag team match. I gave it a half star out of 5. And then actually, after fucking 2.5 hours of shit, it's not the fucking, men's division that comes through. It's not, Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. And not saying all those guys suck, but I mean, it's just, they didn't give them, there was nothing good really from the men's side today. Or this Raw. I mean, nothing. It fucking sucked. So after fucking 2.5 hours of garbage, and like I said, I'm not personally blaming Kevin Owens or Chris Jericho or Seth Rollins. I think all those guys are talented. It's just the environment that these guys are brought up in. The writers make it impossible for a lot of these guys to succeed, or they really hold these guys back and prevent them from reaching their full potential. So we get this Sasha and Charlotte match. Again, it was Falls Count Anywhere, no DQ. Thought it was a great match. I mean, you had a lot of great spots in here, and it's it's cool how they're going to the more. I mean, we haven't really seen this, no DQ for a Divas match. I mean, you had fucking nice kendo stick shots there. Sasha was giving Charlotte. I mean, those weren't light kendo shots. I mean, those were nice. You had a fucking Charlotte doing a fucking backflip off the announcer table, like 8-10 feet down to the ground. That was impressive. I mean, her moonsault is very impressive. You have to give it to Charlotte. I mean, that is a fucking dangerous and impressive move, and she does it good every time. And then I also thought this, they were fighting it into the crowd. Uh, I thought the submission at the end was cool there. Sasha using like the fucking the handle to get up the steps or whatever. To like twist Charlotte's body. I mean, that was fucking pretty intense looking submission there. So I mean, all in all, it was a. Oh, and also Sasha took a hard fall off the ring apron there onto the ground. That looked pretty fucking brutal. So I mean, all in all, a really great match. I thought. I'm really liking what they're doing with the Divas. Um, and once again, Sasha and Charlotte put on another quality, really good match here. I'll give it 3.75 out of 5 stars. Quality, a very good, a great match. And Sasha and Charlotte are really putting on some really great matches in the last few months here. So very satisfied with that main event. However, everything else sucked. It was garbage. And so we have a new women's champion. So obviously we're going to get another Charlotte and Sasha Banks match. I'm kind of getting a little tired of this feud. Even though it's been a really good feud, I kind of want to move on to new things. I mean, they put on some, again, some very good matches. But it's like, okay, we've been seeing the same 2 people on Raw for the, same 2 women on Raw for the past however months. And you got Bayley every fucking week coming in and saying, good luck, Sasha. Can I give you a hug before your match? Bayley doesn't do anything except, wish Sasha Banks luck and give her hugs. It's like, so I just want to see something new, but, but no complaints here. I'm not going to complain because that was a great match to end the night there. Got to give the Divas credit. But like I said, main event good, everything else sucked. So the main event was not enough to save the show from still being called an overall bad show. So there you go, people. There's your Raw review. All right, people. So I once again forgot to go over the match times here. So you had 41 minutes and 35 seconds of total wrestling. That would equal to only 5.2 minutes per match. So about 5 minutes per match. I mean, that's not a good number. 5 matches, and interestingly enough, the first 5 matches too were all 0 to 5 minutes long. So you had 5 matches total, and these were the first 5 matches were all 0 to 5 minutes long. You had 1 match that was 5 to 10, and 2 that were 10 to 15. So just like you saw in last week's Raw, with 5 to 8 of the matches being 5 minutes or under, you had 5 out of the 8 matches also. Tambien on this week's Raw that were under 5 minutes. And this is, again, like I keep saying, a big reason why Raw is sucking. And I hope people are, I hope this little system of mine of keeping track of the amount of match times, the time of the matches on Raw and the pay-per-views helps to, open people's eyes to a bit, in my opinion, a big reason why Raw sucks and the matches on Raw suck. So there you go, people. There's your Raw review.